The tools we'll need are really quite simple. Pencil, ruler, a compass, and these are the only two knives that you'll need. They're made in Switzerland. This one is a stab knife. It's a decorative knife. It removes no wood. And this is a cutting knife. The shape of these knives is unique. The length of the blade in relationship to the handle, the shape of this downward angle, and the shape of this handle is very comfortable to be able to hold and carve for long periods of time. I have a board here with the borders already drawn out, ready for carving. The first border here is the one that we're going to use for the two forms of the three-cornered cut. That is the positive and the negative, and we'll also do the zigzag border with it. The second one is for the lace border. The dimensions here are 2 millimeters, 4 millimeters, 4 millimeters, 2 millimeters, and they're both the same. This is 2, 4, 4, 2. These dimensions seem to be the optimum for a well-balanced border. And here is how we begin. To hold the knife properly, you want to place this knuckle on your thumb right on the edge of the handle like this, on the underside. So when you place your hand down, you will ride on your knuckles, and it'll give you the proper angle, which is 65 degrees for the knife to approach the wood. You also want to turn your wrist out so the knife lines up with your arm. Now, the most important thing here is to keep your thumb against the handle. If you don't, you lose control. You have no cutting control this way. The minute you put your thumb against the handle, you have complete control in any direction with the knife. To start, you want to put your point right here, and you want to raise it up to a perfect V, not down like this, but up like this. And you're going to press straight down to the opposite corner like this. Skip this square and do the next one. Same way. Skip this one and press straight down. Now, this is the first position. The second position is the same angle in the opposite direction by placing your thumb on the spine of the knife. Turn your board 180 degrees, and you want to put your point right back where you began, and you're going to do the same thing in the opposite direction. You're going to press straight down to the opposite corner like this. Come to the next one, press straight down. Come to the next one, press straight down. Now for your third cut, you want to go from the second position back to your first position without moving the board. You're going to cut down this way and across this way at the same time, and your chips will come right out. Now to get the other side, you want to start right back where you started from, right here. Again, don't have your knife down when you cut. You want to stand it straight up like this and press straight down. Skip this one, press straight down. Skip this one, press straight down. For the next cut, you can turn your board 180 degrees and go from your first position to your second position. Straight down, straight down. Notice I'm thrusting in, I'm not slicing. Straight down. Now for your third cut, you're going to go from the second position back to your first position. This time you're going to cut down and across at the same time. And your chip comes right out, like this. And that'll complete the positive diamond. Now let's consider the negative diamond. Instead of starting in the center as we did before, we'll go up to the border. But we'll do it the same way because we're going to make the same chip. Thrust down to the opposite corner, just like this. You'll skip the next square, thrust down to the opposite corner, skip the square, thrust down. Now, turn your board 180 degrees, go back to your second position, start where you were, thrust straight down, like this. Now, without moving the board, again, we'll go back to the first position, just like this. You can see that the pieces just pop right out. Now, to get the other side, we'll go back up on the border, stand the knife up, press straight down. Skip this one, press straight down. skip this one. You'll notice that we're lining up. Press straight down. Now turn your board 180 degrees and go from your first position to your second position. Put it back where you started from with the first cut. Press straight down. Press straight down. Now, without moving the board, go back to your first position and cut straight across. The piece will come right out. And that'll do the negative border. Here's your positive, your negative. Now let's consider the zigzag. In order to do the zigzag, again, we're going to go back to the same position we did here on the positive diamond, not up on the border. We'll start right here. Press straight down, skip this one. Press down, skip this one. Press straight down. Turn your board 180 degrees. Go to your second position. Press straight down. Go back to your first position without turning the board. Cut straight down, across and down. Now this time we'll do something differently. Instead of going back here, as we might over here, we will move over one square. Press straight down. Skip this one. Press straight down. Turn your board. You're making the same size chip, the same type. Now without moving the board, go from your second position to the first. Your chips will come right out. You'll notice now we have the zigzag.
Here's a neat little trick. Let's change the positive diamond into a flower.
To do that, we'll do what is called a flip-flop action. That's flipping from the first position to the second position, like this. And we'll just take that flower and cut it on both sides, like this, all the way up to the center. Just keep moving your work around, doing the same flip-flop action. And there we have the flower border. Now let's consider dressing up the negative diamond. By doing that, we're going to measure halfway from here to here. It's called eyeballing, right about here. You notice what we're going to do is make a half diamond. You'll notice it's the same chip that we were making before. This is a three-cornered chip. Do the same thing on the other side. Again, we're halfway between here and here. How quickly this just moves right along. That dresses up the negative diamond very nicely. Now let's consider what these last two lines are for. First, you want to do your border and make your first cut away from the work on the line. So your first cut will be like this. Now you don't want to rip that off to the end of the board, so just rock it down so you don't cut yourself. Turn your board around using the same position. Come back. And cut that out. The other side is the same way. As we move along here, let me tell you that the trick to cutting a straight line is to look right in front of the blade, not at the blade itself, but in front of it. That way your eye will know exactly what the hand should be doing. That'll set the border very nicely.